cut off!
How is he breathing with me?
Is not. Do you still?
Awa.
Yes. Think Awa will come to save him?
Come on. Colonel.
You.
I can't. Please, please, no!
Go on.
All right, we're gonna ease on that.
Now you take aim.
I do not need you.
Put her down. Hold her. Gotcha. Max, prep for surgery.
These pricks.
Guys, come on!
This way.
From that flux devil, that thing will rip.
Make some bang!
They're just doing their thing.
Hold.
No big female. Up, everybody. Well, they're not.
Open fire! Watch out! Watch out! Watch out!
Yes.
They're ours. Exit!
They can't.
Oh, Kitty! So right now, it's not safe out here.
I have to.
Go! Get back! Beat it! Oh, come on! Go! I'll stay with her.
Oh, Mother! I beg you. Please. No! No!
Up your wife. I had her with you, and I know you.
Tight. Sub-T. Safety's off.
They tell you how it works. General, abandon ship!
Stay close.
Clear.
Tuck in. Behind them. Get eyes on me. Just watch me.
Come out.
Come with me, son. Circle up, we're out of here. Get her off the ship!
You gonna kill? Give me that.
Come on! Fight it up! If your hands are shopping, then do it!
Come on.
You're the man! This is sick! Let's go!
Come on!
Look.
Cast off below!
Lord!
Hold out and race! Fall to...
For me, I feel him with me.
good. I got plenty of time.
I'm going Raiders. Stay under cover. Stay with the girls.
Bro, where you going?
Do you copy?
Sweet girl, sweet girl.
Shit. Kitty, stay here.
Kiri, run! Kiri, come on! Let's go!
Keep going! What goes through?
Knife.
On me. Come on. No, the other one. Nothing.
It's fine.
Come
Stay calm, my baby. Stay calm.
I think we're wasting our time. Colonel, let him know anything. But it's radical.
Whoa, whoa. Take me to your child. Move!
Shit.
In this world, when I was little, everything, starving, may come. And I learned it. I am the... My people grow sweet. Turns her back on us. A weak mother. Not suck on the breast.
Careful with that knife.
Take the girls and you can do. These... Fire! Hold your fire! Stop! This is...
Corporal. This is 2.
Of you, or I hammer this place flat the back of the hooch, because I just don't. We doing this?
I die a lot.
I die, everybody.
Bum rush you, and your gunships hesitate. Oscar.
Just shit nuts. You never. Safety.
Deal?
Want a pinky swear?
Jake!
Zahid?
Watch for me.
You've got a PhD.
Check this out.
Well, to her man, speak clear. I will not. Wait! Move! Which way?
Hey, on the party!
Want a hat! Go, go, go!
Out of the way. Out of the way, guys! Lay it down. Stay with me. What am I doing? Here's my problem.
Oh, this way, this way.
Okay.
Come on.
Hey, I gotta stay.
What's the plan? Come on.
The day after tomorrow. You've got to stop them. You're the...
Clean copy. Switching missiles.
Yeah, I don't need this shit.
The kid's with him. The air breather.
Hold your fire. Keep visual on.
As you can't. Go, go.
Come on. Stay on me.
I'm not gonna play this game.
Lima 1-6.
Lima 1.
He's coming back around. This way.
And hot.
Jake!
He sure will yell at you. Let's go. Stay close. Clip. Tuck in. Behind them. Get eyes on me. Just watch me.
Come out.
Come with me, son. Circle up. We're out of here.
Get her off the ship.
You're gonna kill? Give me that.
Come on.
Spider, no! If your hands are shopping,
Then do it.
gonna hold hands and
You have a choice.
The light always. We all connect with the Great Mother. This was heard. All.
Hey boy, come on. Come on.
I see you.
I'm happy to see you, little bro.
I've heard all about you. You are alive. Forever.
Hello everyone, and welcome to a new video. Today, I will be explaining the plot summary of Avatar Part 3, titled Avatar, Fire and Ash. As we already know, the Avatar series has been fantastic from the first and second parts, and this third part is even more spectacular. Without further ado, let's dive into the summary. The story begins in the Hallelujah Mountains of Pandora, where Loak and his brother, Neteyam, are seen happily riding their banshees together. Later, Loak blames himself for his brother's death, but his brother comforts him. These scenes are actually just Loak's memories within the spirit world. In the physical world, Kiri and Spider are playing in the water, while Neytiri continues to mourn her son. To cope with the pain, Jake Sully dives into the ocean to retrieve weapons from a sunken ship for self-defense. However, using human weapons is opposed by the leaders of the Water Tribe, who believe these weapons will only bring more carnage. Meanwhile, Quaritch's team is planning to hunt down Jake. Loak takes his mother's broken bow and buries it. Jake tries to comfort Neytiri and give her hope. Later, a merchant ship called the Wine Trader arrives at the village. Jake and Neytiri decide to send Spider back to live with the humans for his safety, but their children strongly protest. The children sneak onto the merchant ship to visit Kiri's grandfather. During the journey, they are attacked by the Ash People, a fire-based Na'vi tribe, who are extremely brutal. A fierce battle ensues, leading to the ship catching fire and exploding. Jake and Neytiri arrive just in time to help. In the end, after surviving the dangerous battle, Spider faces a problem with his oxygen mask. Kiri uses her special power connected to Awa to save Spider using glowing bioluminescent roots.
Loak removed Kiri's arrow from the tree root. After removing it, he didn't see Spider alive. Kiri cried, thinking Spider was dead. Spider seemed dead, and Kiri's mother up in the sky also said he was near death. The situation of the Sully family seemed very tense. But while they were crying, Spider suddenly coughed and woke up. Everyone was a bit excited and surprised, while Spider thought he was dead and perhaps living in the spirit world, which is why he could breathe in Pandora. Everyone laughed and said no, he is truly alive. Hearing this, Spider was very happy that he could breathe the air of Pandora. Finally, he shouted with all his might. Loak told him to be quiet, but how could he be quiet after shouting? Spider jumped to thank Kiri, but a moment later, because of that shout, many arrows from the RDA, General's team, were fired at the kids. The kids were terrified. Loak fired back, but after one magazine, he didn't hit anyone. They ran towards Loak, then beat up all the kids and captured them all. At that moment, Varong saw a gun but didn't know how to use it. Just as they were capturing the kids to threaten them, Jake's group arrived. Everyone was curious about Spider, why he wasn't wearing a mask and could stay alive. Varong herself was also curious why this kid could breathe the air of her planet. Kiri shouted back that it was Iwa's spirit. But Varong, hearing this, got angry and pulled Spider to threaten him, saying if she cut Spider's throat, would Iwa come to save him? Kiri replied that maybe she couldn't. So Varong replied that your god Iwa has no power here. Seeing this, Jake told General Mal to release them. Colonel Quaritch agreed and cut their wristbands. Then they split up to save the kids. Meanwhile, Varong forced Loak to teach her how to shoot. But Loak said he ran out of bullets, so how could he shoot? Varong was very angry and ordered her subordinates to kill Thoak. But before they could kill him, Jake jumped in and attacked, killing 2 or 3 of them. Kiri also came down and fired, then successfully pointed a gun at Varong's head. Varong ordered her subordinates to lay down their weapons to protect herself. But at that moment, Varong secretly took her Karoo and connected it with General Lao's Karoo, putting him under her control. So everyone escaped. Finally, Jake's group was captured and tied up again. General Mal taught Varong how to shoot a gun. When Varong learned to shoot, she shot this and that, feeling very happy and satisfied with the gun. But after shooting to her heart's content and shouting loudly, she pointed the gun at Quaritch and said she didn't need Quaritch anymore, she would take all of them to be sacrificed. As for Neytiri, she was taken by her loyal creature to the Old Mother's camp. The doctors and the Old Mother took her into the operating room to remove the bullets and treat her in time.
Meanwhile, in the forest, Varong's group beat drums to prepare for a sacrifice ceremony, taking everyone they captured to be sacrificed. They have their own proper religious rituals, which look very impressive. At that time, they didn't realize Kiri had great powers. Kiri connected her Kuru to the tree root and sent signals to nearby plants, commanding the shooting plants to fire at the guards, killing them all on the spot. After that, they cut each other's ties and escaped from that place easily. By the time Varong's group found out, it was too late. They had successfully crossed the water to the other side. As for Neytiri, as soon as she regained consciousness, she struggled up, ignoring her own injuries, and shouted asking where her children were. Everyone asked, and Neytiri said the children were being chased and captured, so they decided to go help them together. Even though Neytiri was stopped by the Old Mother, she didn't care. She had to go save her children. So even with injuries, she decided to join everyone. Jake's group, after crossing the water, rested. The kids were tired and slept, while the elders discussed the conflict and the battle. Taking advantage of that silence, Jake explained to Quaritch about Pandora, wanting him to think better and understand what Pandora has lost under human hands. In short, he wanted him to change his mind and live as Na'vi for once, instead of helping humans destroy others just for the human race. After that, morning arrived. While they were sleeping soundly, they heard the sound of a creature flying towards them. They were about to run, but in fact, it wasn't Varong's group, it was Neytiri's. When they saw them, they felt relieved. Neytiri and the team of doctors came down to welcome each other. The wife ran to her husband, feeling very relieved to be reunited. As for General Mal, he had escaped from that place. After that, Colonel Quaritch met with his team and told them about Spider, who has the ability to breathe the air of Pandora, so they had to capture him for further examination to study how humans can breathe Pandora's air. Then humans would surely be able to live on Pandora, so the first thing they had to do was to capture Spider. As for Spider, he was taken by the doctors for a physical examination and found to have only vessels, not knowing what they were exactly. His body was like a living organism connected from here and there in a complex way. The doctor was very excited about that condition, but Jake was not happy. He wanted the doctor to remove that from Spider because he was worried that if humans could study it, Pandora would no longer have the Na'vi race and would become a planet for humans. Spider, on the other hand, was very happy with his new life, and beyond that, he even started to grow a Kuru. This meant he was gradually becoming Na'vi. Meanwhile, Kiri connected herself to her memory tree and went inside to meet Awa.
But as she got closer to Awa, some kind of wind always pushed her away from Awa, not letting her meet her. Outside, she was convulsing as if dying. Her grandmother came to help her in time and asked the doctors to rescue Kiri. After Kiri regained consciousness, she asked the elders directly if they were hiding something from her. She felt very strange why she couldn't meet Awa. At that moment, everyone decided to tell her the truth, that in fact, Kiri has no father. She was born directly from Dr. Grace's avatar without any reproduction with a father. Her grandmother added that Kiri is very special, surely given by Awa, which is why Dr. Grace could create her like that. After talking about her mother, Kiri went to see her mother's avatar with longing. Jake went to comfort her, saying that no matter what, Kiri is and will be his daughter forever. The medical team also warned Kiri that she must not connect to the memory tree again, whether on land or in water, or she might die. Meanwhile, Neytiri looked at Spider with feelings of some hatred, wanting to push Spider away from her heart somehow. She told Jake that Spider should die, but Jake said that's not right. They must take Spider back to live with them because Spider is like their family. At the same time, on the water, Colonel Quaritch's team was hunting Tolkien again. They were merciless, pumping out the Amrita from the Tolkien's brains. They killed many Tolkien, killing the mothers and even the small ones, leaving no one alive. The next morning, Jake's group returned to the territory of the reef.
Upon arrival, Tanawari and Ronal told them about the deaths of the Tolkien, saying many had died. The Council of the Tolkien would happen soon, and they hoped after the meeting there would be a solution to protect the Tolkien. In the evening, Ronal wrapped Neytiri's wounds. Neytiri complained that her wounds didn't seem to heal at all, but Ronal replied how could they heal if Neytiri wouldn't stay still? Pulling arrows and shooting all day, how could the wounds heal easily? That night, the elders of the Tolkien met to discuss Peikayan, whether he should rejoin the group or stay outside. After the meeting, the elders decided that Peikayan remains an outcast because he violated the law by using violence to kill. So they decided to punish him by sending him far away, not allowing him to enter the reef territory anymore. Loak, hearing this, shouted in protest, saying Peikayan had saved them, so why shouldn't he have the right to stay with them? Saraya also protested along with Loak, but no matter how they protested, the elders wouldn't listen, and still decided to cast out Peikayan. Meanwhile, Jake took Loak out of that place to avoid further embarrassment. He also blamed Loak for his brother's death. Loak sadly pushed his father away and ran from him.
After arguing with his son, Jake was also unhappy and sat drinking until Neytiri came to stop him, asking if he wanted to lose another son by being so harsh with Loak. Neytiri wanted to kill Spider because seeing Spider's face made her angry at Colonel Miles, who had killed her son. But Jake stopped her, saying not to do that. They shouldn't live with hatred in their hearts forever and to learn to be merciful. But Neytiri said she hates humans very much. Jake asked further if she hates him too, since his original race was human. Furthermore, their children have mixed human blood, some with 4 fingers, some with 5 like humans. He asked if Neytiri has hated them or been ashamed of them all this time. Neytiri replied that it's true, then walked away crying insane. Jake, knowing his wife was hurt and upset, followed to comfort her from behind, saying they must be strong together to protect each other, not to fight or hate each other like that. Meanwhile, Loak, upon reaching a quiet place, pointed a gun at his own mouth and wanted to end his life, but in the end he threw the gun away. Saraya and Kiri came to comfort him, and Saraya brought him back the bow. She said the bow is the power of the ancestors, so he must take it back, it would surely help. Loak agreed, so the next morning the two of them cut wood and this and that to repair the bow to give back to his mother. Kiri took Spider into the water and had him use the Kuru to connect with an elu. After they were connected, the two of them rode the elu into the water very happily. Spider was very excited because he had never done that before. At the same time, Colonel Quaritch's group, because they couldn't find Jake's location, went to threaten the old mother's camp searching for Spider and Jake, but no matter how they threatened, they couldn't find them. So he decided to do something strange. He walked to the territory of the Ash people, which is a land of ash where there is only smoke and ash and not even a single plant. Upon arrival, he was beaten down by Varang's subordinates and then captured to meet Varang. Varang came out to meet him and wanted to use the Kuru to connect with his neck again, but Quaritch threatened Varang back, saying if she did that, he would kill her. Varang said how could he kill her when he was under her ties, but Quaritch pointed at someone and that person was immediately shot dead by Quaritch's subordinates. Everyone was terrified. Quaritch threatened Varang again, saying if Varang didn't release him, Varang would be next to die. So Varang agreed to release him and took him into her camp. Inside Varang's camp there were many strange things, including skulls and bones of the dead, looking like a cruel demon religion. Upon entering, Varang wanted to test Quaritch's loyalty, so she had him sniff her special drug. After sniffing the drug, Quaritch's eyes widened and he saw Varang as a sunlight goddess.
Everything in that place, which before was just bones, became animate and very scary. Immediately Varang spoke about the past, the reason why they came to this location. Initially the place was beautiful with plants and everything normal, but the volcano erupted and burned the location. The people were miserable and cried out to Eywa to save them, but Eywa did not respond to the people, so they continued to suffer. And because they couldn't rely on Eywa, Varang and her race learned to live with fire and became close to fire. Currently they can use fire very skillfully. They are using fire to oppose Eywa, killing everyone and burning everything. After that, she told General Mal to tell her the truth, cutting Mal's chest to let some blood flow and then licking the blood. Colonel Mal said the two of them need each other and need to have equal rights, with no one being a subordinate. Varang needs fire to burn things, while Quaritch has guns, communication devices, and gas to burn things, so they can rely on each other. Varang agreed. So the two of them, after collaborating, General Mal had his subordinates bring robotic vehicles carrying guns, weapons, and gas to Varang, and even taught Varang how to use those guns. Varang fired the gas to burn things with great satisfaction. After being satisfied, she took General Mal into a tent with just the two of them. Meanwhile, at the reef, a group of Tolkien was gradually coming in, and they were almost all together. Everyone was very happy when the Tolkien met at that location, but Loak was not happy. He didn't join anyone. Even though Cyria told him to join, he didn't go. But Cyria said her Tolkien brother told her they heard Peacon's voice far away outside the reef. Hearing this, Loak had hope again. So after that, he took the bow he had repaired to Neytiri. Neytiri could pull the bow and cried, then thanked her son. Next, the son said goodbye to his mother to go do something. The mother didn't stop her son because he was an adult and could make his own decisions. Cyria tried to stop Loak, but she couldn't. Loak rode an elu away from that place. Cyria knew Loak left to find Peacon, so she told her siblings. They all decided to ride a Tolkien each to follow Loak. Meanwhile, the parents, after realizing the kids were missing, began to worry, but they didn't follow because it was almost time for the Tolkien council meeting. As for Loak, after riding away from the reef territory, he encountered big waves that crashed against him. Loak ride and swam while calling for Peacon. Meanwhile, Varang led General Mal to find Jake's location, capturing people to ask. Because she could use the Kuru, she could find Jake's location and led them to find Jake. At that time, Kiri and Spider were fetching water. While fetching water, Kiri kissed Spider, making Spider very excited. But when walking back, they encountered RDA troops chasing them.
After running around, Spider was captured by General Mal, while Kiri escaped. Kiri ran back to meet her parents. Meanwhile, Varong and General Mal flew a plane to the reef camp and landed below to call Jake out alone. They wanted to capture Jake alone. Jake told his wife that he had to surrender to General Mal to protect the other villagers. Even though the wife was reluctant, the husband said he had to do it to help others, so she agreed to let her husband do it. After that, they told Kiri to take cover and hide. Then they walked outside. General Mal shouted for Jake. When he didn't see Jake, he told his subordinates to use helicopters to fire and burn some of the location. Jake ran quickly and told them to stop the burning. Then during the negotiation, Jake agreed to surrender, but only him, and not to capture anyone else. But General Mal said he wanted to capture Neytiri too, but Jake said he wouldn't agree. The general threatened with guns and fire to burn them to death, but Jake stood up and had everyone stand up with him. He said even if they burned, Mal's group would die as well. There wasn't much difference. If they didn't agree, there would be nothing but war. In the end, General Mal agreed with Jake, agreeing to take only Jake, and others were released. After agreeing, everyone knelt down again. Jake walked towards Mal. Neytiri didn't want this, but following her husband's order, she dropped her arrows and watched her husband's departure with pain. After that, Mal led the RDA troops towards his large vessel. The leaders inside were terrified, but after realizing it was just Quaritch's subordinates, they allowed the negotiation. When they landed on it, Varong's subordinates began to bow down in fear.
The sister told the children not to bow or show any fear. Even if they were scared, don't let anyone know. After that, General Ardmore met with them. Even though she saw that Marlin had captured Jake and Spider, she was not pleased for General Marlin to bring soldiers onto her aircraft. She wanted them taken back. However, General Marlin whispered to her that this was an advantage, and if she didn't know how to use an advantage, she would surely lose. General Marlin called for everyone to support him, so Ardmore agreed with the general and let everyone cheer. After that, Jake was captured and detained for execution, while Spider was taken to a laboratory. He was experimented on, probing his mouth, poking here and there, blowing air. It was very painful. At the same time, outside the islands, the Loak and the others met up, but as soon as they met, trouble started because a monster squid jumped out to attack and eat them. Loak and his companion tried to swim down to escape the group, but it was very difficult. Those things were fast and could even leap across the water. Loak fought back to kill them and crawled into the coral to escape, but in the end they caught him. However, Loak had a knife and cut off several of the squid's fins, freeing himself, though he was nearly out of breath. Fortunately, Peacon came to help just in time, killing all the squids. Loak lost consciousness and began to sink, but Cyrea came to rescue him and bring him back to the surface. A moment later, Loak woke up. He was very happy to see everyone helping him. Meanwhile, General Marlin went to see Spider. He brought a burger for his son to eat, but Spider threw it away. He wanted to give General Marlin's pendant to his son, but Spider refused to accept it. So he talked about Spider's mother, saying Spider was stubborn just like her. He talked about this and that, making Spider feel somewhat connected to him. Feeling that connection, Spider asked for the pendant, and he gave it to him before heading out. Meanwhile, Loak successfully met with Peacon and asked if he had found their companions outside. Peacon said he found them, but only one was left. The others were dead. That survivor appeared, looking very pitiful, having been shot through the body by our people and blinded in both eyes, unable to see anything. At the same time, our group held a meeting. Scoresby knew that the Tolkien would be gathering in the coming days, so they decided to take that opportunity to kill the Tolkien and extract the Amrita to sell for a lot of money. Hearing this, a doctor named Garvin, a biologist, protested, saying it was wrong. Tolkien are intelligent creatures with a culture like humans. They can sing, communicate, and are even smarter than humans. He said killing them like that was wrong. But the others didn't listen. They saw the money in front of them and only cared about that. Dr. Garvin was angry and planned a betrayal against his own team.
That night, Neytiri looked at the arrows her husband had prepared for her and decided to use them. Meanwhile, the pendant Spider took from his father was not for sentimental reasons. He turned it into a communication device and successfully hacked it, escaping from that place. Neytiri used her arrows to kill several of Quaritch's subordinates and took their communication devices to wear, disguising herself. She then flew directly toward Quaritch's base. They detected a signal, but thinking it was one of Quaritch's people, they allowed Neytiri to land easily. Neytiri sneaked inside to help Jake, and Spider also headed toward Jake's location, where Jake was being prepared for execution the next morning. At that time, Dr. Garvin entered a large machine, a tractor-like vehicle, and prepared to drive it for his mission. Meanwhile, Neytiri successfully sneaked into the room, held a blade to the neck of a person in charge, and threatened them to reveal Jake's location. The person tried to resist, but couldn't because Neytiri had a firm grip, so they told her where Jake was. After being told, Marlin came inside and started shooting at Neytiri. Neytiri fled, and they chased her with weapons, but Neytiri got onto her creature and flew away. As we know, Neytiri had bombs, so she fired them and blew up the place, causing surprise and panic. The human soldiers and others chased after Neytiri, but Neytiri was very skilled at riding and maneuvered through the narrow spaces. The only one who could keep up with Neytiri was the person in charge, who flew close behind shooting. However, because their creature was too large, it couldn't fly through the narrow gaps as fast as Neytiri's creature, so Neytiri eventually escaped. Meanwhile, Dr. Garvin successfully started the tractor and drove it toward Jake's location. When he arrived, he dropped the tractor's shovel, destroyed Jake's cage, and told Jake to get under the shovel. He then reversed, letting Jake walk back with him. His tractor was bulletproof, so Jake was freed. Seeing this, Spider chased after Jake from behind. Once they reached a quiet spot, Dr. Garvin got out and led Jake away. As they ran, he told Jake that our group planned to kill all the Tulkun the next day, so he asked Jake to help. He didn't want to see such a tragic fate befall the intelligent Tulkun. As they were talking and running, they were shot at and had to separate. Jake was pinned down with no way to run, but Spider arrived just in time and stood in the line of fire, daring them to shoot him. No one dared to shoot Spider because if he died, they couldn't study breathing on Pandora, so the firing stopped. Spider took the heat for Jake and told him where to run. However, the female commander was not happy and ordered a plane to kill them. The pilot was about to shoot Spider and Jake from above, but Neytiri arrived just in time and blew up the plane first.
After the explosion, Jake met with Neytiri. Neytiri told them to get on the horses and they all flew away together. They flew until morning and successfully escaped into the forest. Once in the forest, Jake told Neytiri to land near a cliff. When they were down there, he led Neytiri aside and said Spider must be sacrificed for the life of all the races on Pandora. Neytiri hesitated, but agreed with her husband. So Jake led Spider deep into the forest. Once inside, he told Spider to kneel down and held a knife to Spider's neck. Spider knew what Jake was going to do and pleaded with him, even calling Jake Papa. But in the end, he agreed to let Jake kill him, willing to sacrifice his life so the Na'vi could live peacefully on Pandora. But Jake couldn't bring himself to do it. He hugged him with mercy. At that moment, Neytiri felt unsettled. Initially, she wanted Spider dead, but she couldn't go through with it and ran into the forest. She wanted to stop Jake, but when she saw that Jake hadn't killed Spider, she was greatly relieved. The three of them shared an emotional hug. After that, Jake decided to wage war against our people. Without delay, he went into a cave where his companion lived, the Toruk, the largest creature of all. He rebonded with the Toruk and rode it to meet the others. Everyone, seeing the Toruk arrive, knelt in respect. Jake dismounted and told everyone to cheer. He then told Tonawari and the others to announce the search for help, saying that Toruk Makto needed them. Just hearing the announcement from Toruk Makto, everyone joined in. The Navy, the Army, the Air Force, the Skimwings, they all gathered with Jake.
However, Jake knew the Air Force wouldn't be enough to defeat the humans. They needed help from the Tulkun as well, so he asked Tonawari to open a meeting with the Tulkun elders. During the meeting, Jake explained what would happen, that during the Tulkun Council, our people would come and kill all the Tulkun. Therefore, the Tulkun had to fight back. But the elders were very stubborn, thinking that killing would only lead to more killing and revenge, so they didn't agree. Toruk Makto tried to argue more, but they wouldn't listen. Then Loak and Cyrea rode a Tulkun into the meeting. They were ordered to leave, calling Payakan an outcast and telling him to get out. But Loak protested, saying if Payakan was an outcast, he was an outcast too, and he would leave the clan as well. Cyrea said the same. If Payakan was an outcast, so was she. The two younger ones, Anung and Roxo, also asked to be outcasts. Hearing this, the elders realized it was serious and let Loak speak. Loak explained that our people were very cruel, and that when Payakan went out to find his kin, they were all killed. Only one survivor remained, and they called that survivor forward. The survivor appeared looking very pitiful, with wounds all over and blinded in both eyes. The Tulkun said he was a living witness, a blind representative of all those who were lost, showing how cruel our people were and how they were killed. He said they had to rise up and fight the humans if they didn't want to go extinct. After hearing this, the ancients still hadn't decided what to do and left the area. After that, our group prepared forces to hunt the Tulkun. General Marlin asked to join, but he wasn't trusted. The female commander removed Marlin from the task. Meanwhile, Ronal, being very worried that many would die in tomorrow's war, went to pray. Kiri saw this and went to pray with her. Seeing Kiri, she asked if Kiri had a special gift. If so, could she contact Eywa to save them? At the same time, Jake prepared a gun, gave it to Loak, and told him to protect the younger children and take them to hide. Neytiri said if she and Jake didn't return, Loak should lead the children away from our people.
After everyone was ready, they entered the battle zone. Our people began to deploy into that territory. Once they arrived and identified the locations, they entered the water. Scoresby won a boat on the surface, while the underwater vessels deployed one after another. They aimed for the Tulkun Council to kill them and get the money. Jake's group waited above, Tonawari's group rode Skimwings below, and the children hid in fear. Our people went down and targeted a group of Tulkun. According to the scan, there were many, but upon getting closer, they were surprised. There were only small Tulkun, no large adults, which was very strange. They began to wonder. Before they could wonder for long, they saw the large Tulkun beneath their boats. Payakan led the ancient Tulkun to fight back against our people. The ancient Tulkun jumped up and landed on the large vessels, causing them to capsize and break. As we know, Tulkun are massive, and they cause the vessels to slowly sink. Seeing this, everyone was happy that the Tulkun had agreed to fight. Then the Air Force, the Navy, and the Skimwings began their attack. Everyone used their skills. Jake used guns and his Torek to crash the planes into boats. Neytiri used her explosives effectively, attacking from above and below. They were well coordinated. Then the Air Force, the Navy, and the Skimwings began their attack. Everyone used their skills. Jake used guns and his Torek to crash the planes into boats. Neytiri used her explosives effectively, attacking from above and below. They were well coordinated.
But as we know, war doesn't always go in one's favor. Even with an advantage, there were deaths on both sides. Even the large Tulkun were shot and killed one by Scoresby. Jake's side continued the attack, gaining an advantage because the Tulkun had joined. But just as they were winning, they saw smoke. It was the specialized troops led by Commander Quaritch and his companion. This force greatly worried Neytiri's troops because they had heavy, modern weapons. They fired at Neytiri's troops, causing them to fall into the water like rain. The children saw this and were terrified, thinking they would lose. Kiri saw this and knew the war couldn't continue like this. She decided to act. Everyone tried to stop her from jumping into the water, but they couldn't. She jumped in to meet with Eywa. Seeing this, the others jumped in after her one by one. Eventually, Kiri reached the memory tree and bonded with it, entering to meet Eywa. But she couldn't reach Eywa. She walked and called for help, but the currents kept pushing her back. Outside, knowing that if our people fired into the sacred tree area, it would explode and Kiri would die, Loak and the others tried to protect the area, using Payakan and others for defense. Inside, Kiri was nearly pushed back by the current, but Spider bonded as well. Spider went in and helped Kiri, pushing her further than before. Outside, the explosions were terrifying. Soon, Tonobate's youngest child was killed. Kiri and Spider could no longer move forward and began to drift back, but Took joined them. Took held her sister's and Spider's hands and pulled them forward. Because Kiri had come alone before, she hadn't succeeded. But this time, with 3 of them pushing together, they overcame the current and met with Eywa. We saw a glimpse of Eywa's face. Kiri asked Eywa to save them from the war. Before there could be a response, our people fired at that area, causing an explosion that knocked them out of the memory tree.
The war was very severe. There was shooting and bodies everywhere. Renal, trying to fight back, was shot and fell from her creature. Outside, Payakan was chased by our people. He tried to escape but couldn't. Our people fired rocks that broke and pinned him down. Jake was targeted by everyone. No matter how strong or large he was, he couldn't withstand everyone shooting at him. The Torek flew around and crashed into a rock wall, and both of them fell into the water. Neytiri was also put into a cage. No one was safe. Everyone was suffering and nearly dead. At the tree, Spider was fine and led Took to the surface. Kiri also survived, as a creature bonded with her, allowing her to breathe underwater. Loak, seeing his father in trouble, swam to help him and brought him to shore. Neytiri, seeing Renal wounded, pulled her to shore as well. On shore, Renal said she was dying and asked Neytiri to help deliver her baby. Neytiri told her to push, and she did with all her might until the baby was born. Neytiri placed the baby on the mother's chest for the last time. The mother said the baby's name was Pearl and asked Neytiri to care for her. After that, she passed away, leaving her child. Neytiri took the baby with great pity. Meanwhile, Jake encouraged Loak, saying he was very proud of his son. As Torek Makto, he couldn't convince the Tulkun elders to fight, but his son could. He was very proud. At the same time, Payakan had not died. He was lifted up by the other Tulkun and revived. But while they were happy, Quaritch caught Took and took her hostage. Scoresby wasn't satisfied and gathered his team to hunt the Tulkun again, wanting to kill some. While he was gathering his forces, Marlin went and caught Neytiri as well. Jake and Loak saw this and swam after them to rescue everyone. Once they reached the docking area, the person in charge tortured Neytiri by connecting their neural bond to hers, causing Neytiri great pain. Marlin told Jake to come and surrender if he didn't want Neytiri to die. Jake and Loak rushed to that location. Scoresby reached the Tulkun's location and used a frequency gun, causing the Tulkun to panic. As the team below dived and prepared to shoot, something miraculous happened. The sacred tree glowed, and squids gathered around Kiri. Kiri knew this was Eywa's help. Eywa had answered her. The squids looked at Kiri, she looked back, and she ordered them to deal with our people. The squids followed the order and attacked the underwater vessels, using their teeth to break the glass and cause people to drown. They attacked and killed people on the ship as well.
Meanwhile, the Turok, after getting on land, spread its wings and called its companions to attack the specialized troops. Despite having many weapons, the troops couldn't win and many were killed. The squids attacked from below and the birds attacked from above. They were very well coordinated. The Turok itself caught a plane and crashed it into the commander's ship, causing a loud explosion. Seeing her ship exploding, the commander told her people to prepare to abandon the ship and leave quickly. Scoresby fell into the water and the blinded Tulkun found him. It was very angry and swallowed him, killing him. Kiri and Spider followed Jake to help his father. While sneaking around, Spider used a trick, pretending to surrender to General Marlin. Marlin caught him and wanted to take him away, but Jake attacked from behind, and Loak used a gun to help his father. During the fight, Neytiri had a chance to lead Took away, but someone saw and chased them. They caught Neytiri and wanted to kill her with a knife, but Kiri came from behind. Kiri used her bond to connect with the person's bond. The person tried to use their power against Kiri, but this time Kiri was stronger. Kiri used her power to make them terrified, and they fled. General Marlin caught Spider and got on a creature to fly away, but Jake on a skimwing chased him. During the encounter, the skimwing bit the creature's neck and they struggled. Both fell down and continued to fight. At that time, the ship was being sucked into an electrical current and blew up, and a piece hit Jake's location, knocking him down and nearly unconscious. Marlin went to kill Jake, but Spider used an arrow to protect him. Marlin thought Spider wouldn't shoot him, but Spider shot through his hand. He was very angry with Spider. Jake got up and fought with Commander Marlin again. Both struggled and fell down. Spider grabbed an arrow to help Jake again. During the struggle, Spider was accidentally hit and fell. Marlin caught Spider's hand, and Jake caught the rope as well, 3 of them helping each other. Jake pulled the rope and both could come back up. Once up, Marlin laughed, asking why they finally helped each other. Jake warned him to think about it again. At that moment, Neytiri's group arrived. Neytiri wanted to shoot Marlin, but Jake stopped her. Seeing this, Marlin jumped down himself, unknown if he lived or died. The family was safe and shared a hug. This time, Spider joined them, unlike before. After the war ended, everything became bright and beautiful again. Then everyone went to bond with the memory tree. Kiri led Spider to bond as well, and finally Spider entered the spirit world. There he met Nedium, his old friend, along with Dr. Grace, Kiri's mother, Ronal, and everyone who had died. Spider was very excited to be in that land, and they all played together happily. The story ended with a peaceful scene of everyone in the spirit land. So that's all for the 3rd part.
It was a great and very long part. But the Avatar story, no matter how long it is, doesn't feel long when watching in the theater. It feels like it's over in a flash. The admin didn't regret the money and watched it twice. The admin hopes you all like the story. Thank you very much for listening to the admin's video until the end. We'll meet in the next videos. Take care, everyone. Goodbye. Bye-bye.
The story begins with the low rumble of RDA heavy transport ships descending through the thick atmosphere of Pandora. The sound is a constant presence now, a mechanical growl that never seems to leave the Sully family alone. After the events at the reef, Jake and Neytiri realize that their presence among them at Kaina only brings more destruction to the peaceful water tribes. The RDA has shifted its strategy, moving away from simple resource extraction toward a full-scale industrial occupation. We see the massive construction of Bridgehead City expanding like a metal virus across the landscape. The metallic clang of construction beams and the high-pitched whine of cutting lasers fill the air. Jake stands on a high cliff, looking out over the horizon where the once lush green forests are being replaced by gray concrete and smoke. He knows they cannot stay. The move is a desperate one. They head toward the volcanic ranges of the northern continent, a place few Na'vi dare to tread. The air there is thick with sulfur and the smell of burning earth. As they fly on their Ikron, the rhythmic beat of wings sounds different in the thin, hot air. The heat ripples off the ground in visible waves, distorting the horizon. It is a stark contrast to the cool blues of the ocean. As they cross into the volcanic wastes, the world changes. The vibrant colors of Pandora are muted here, replaced by deep reds, charcoal grays, and the glowing orange of molten rock. The ground is a jagged landscape of cooling lava and sharp obsidian. The Sullys land their Ikron on a ledge overlooking a vast caldera. The silence here is heavy, broken only by the occasional hiss of a steam vent or the distant boom of an eruption. It is here that they first encounter the Ash People. Unlike the forest-dwelling Omaticaya or the aquatic Metkaina, these Na'vi have skin the color of soot and eyes like burning coals. Their leader, Varang, steps forward from the shadows of a cave. She does not greet them with a song or a gesture of peace. Instead, she holds a jagged obsidian blade that catches the light of the lava below. The tension is immediate. Varang views the Sullys as bringers of war, people who carry the scent of the Sky People with them like a plague. The social structure of the Ash People is built on the concept of survival of the fittest. They believe that fire purifies, and that only the strong deserve to inhabit the sacred peaks. This is world-building at its most visceral. The Ash People do not worship Eywa as a gentle mother. To them, she is a goddess of destruction and renewal, a force that burns away the weak to make room for the new.
The technology of the Ash People is fascinatingly primitive yet effective. They use the geothermal heat to forge weapons and tools from volcanic glass and heat-resistant bones. The metallic clink of their armor, made from the scales of mountain creatures, provides a rhythmic soundtrack to their movements.
Jake tries to negotiate, but Varang is unimpressed by his tales of resistance. To her, Jake is just a sky person in a blue skin, playing at being a warrior. The cultural clash is palpable. Neytiri, usually the bridge between cultures, finds herself at odds with the Ash people's blatant disregard for the sanctity of life. They practice rituals that involve walking through fire and scarring their skin with hot ash. The smell of singed hair and scorched earth is ever present in their camp. Meanwhile, the RDA is not far behind. General Ardmore has authorized the use of a new unit called the Cinder Squad, equipped with fire-suppressant tech and massive thermal harvesters. They want the rare minerals found in the volcanic vents, minerals that are essential for the next phase of interstellar travel. The rumble of their massive treaded vehicles can be felt through the ground long before they are seen. It is a low-pitched vibration that rattles the teeth and sets the local wildlife on edge. Locke and Kiri struggle the most with this new environment. Kiri feels a strange, distorted connection to Awa here. The heartbeat of the planet feels faster, more erratic. She spends her time near the lava flows, listening to the crackle of the flames. She describes it as 1,000 voices screaming at once. It is a haunting image. The world of Pandora is not just one thing, it is a collection of extremes. The Ash People's village is built into the side of a dormant volcano, a series of tunnels and chambers that stay cool despite the heat outside. The sound of dripping water echoing in the deep caverns is the only reminder of the world above. Jake spends his days trying to learn their ways, but he is constantly reminded of his outsider status. He practices with their obsidian spears, the thwack of the blade hitting a practice dummy echoing through the halls. The humor comes in small doses, mostly from Spider, who is trying to adapt to the heat and complaining that he feels like a slow-cooked brisket. He makes a comment about how he never thought he would miss the humidity of the jungle, but at least there you didn't have to worry about your shoes melting to the floor.
The RDA eventually makes its move. The first skirmish happens at a sacred thermal vent. The sound of gunfire is deafening in the enclosed space of the canyon. The pop-top-pop of assault rifles clashes with the whish of Na'vi arrows. The Cinder Squad uses flamethrowers to clear out the local flora, creating a wall of fire that hem in the Ash people. The scream of the dying forest is a sound Neytiri cannot ignore. She leads a counterattack, her movements a blur of lethal grace. The thwip of her bowstring is followed by the thud of an arrow finding its mark. But the RDA has upgraded their armor. The bullets ricochet off the new alloys with a high-pitched ping. It is a stalemate that leaves both sides bloodied. Varang is furious. She blames Jake for bringing this metal storm to her doorstep. She challenges him to a trial of fire, a ritualistic duel over a pit of molten rock. The stakes are high. If Jake loses, his family is exiled into the path of the RDA. If he wins, the Ash people will join his rebellion. The duel is a masterclass in tension. The air is so hot it hurts to breathe. Every movement is a struggle. The sound of their breathing is heavy and labored. Varang moves like a flickering flame, unpredictable and fast. The clash of their obsidian blades sends sparks flying into the air. Jake has to rely on his old marine training combined with his Na'vi instincts. He realizes that Varang is not just fighting him, she is testing his resolve. She wants to see if he is willing to burn for his people. In a moment of pure desperation, Jake uses the environment to his advantage, triggering a small steam vent that disorients Varang just long enough to disarm her. He doesn't kill her, he offers her his hand. This act of mercy is foreign to the Ash people, but it earns him a grudging respect. The ritual ends not with a death, but with a silent acknowledgement of strength. As the two groups form an uneasy alliance, we get to see more of the RDA's industrial might. They have built a massive thermal spire that reaches high into the ash-choked sky. It looks like a giant needle stabbing into the heart of the planet. The machine hums with a terrifying intensity, a sound that can be heard for miles. It is draining the geothermal energy of the region, causing the volcanic activity to become unstable. The ground begins to shake with increasing frequency. The crackle of the earth splitting open becomes a common sound. The Ash people realize that their home is being destroyed not just by soldiers, but by the very machines the soldiers protect. The world building here focuses on the environmental impact of the RDA's greed. They are not just taking resources, they are breaking the geological balance of the world. Kiri warns them that the planet is angry. She says Awa is not just a spirit, but a biological immune system, and right now she is preparing to white cell the entire region.
The middle act of the movie is a slow burn of preparation. We see the Na'vi preparing for a massive assault on the thermal spire. The Ash people bring out their heavy hitters, massive mountain creatures called moltenbacks that have skin like rock and can withstand incredible heat. The sound of these beasts moving is like a rock slide in slow motion.
The crunch of stone under their heavy feet is a terrifying sound. Jake works with the Ash People's engineers to create fire-resistant saddles and armor. There is a lighthearted moment where Spider tries to ride one of these beasts and ends up sliding off the back because the rock is too smooth. He jokes that he should have brought some industrial-strength Velcro. Jake just rolls his eyes and tells him to keep his head down. The camaraderie between the tribes begins to grow, built on a foundation of shared trauma and a common enemy. The RDA, meanwhile, is led by a new antagonist, a corporate executive named Garrison, who views Pandora as a balance sheet rather than a living world. He is cold, calculating, and completely devoid of the warrior code that even Quaritch sometimes showed. Quaritch himself is in a strange position. He is still a recom, but he is starting to see the futility of the RDA's approach. He watches the destruction of the volcanic landscape with a sense of unease. He remembers the forest and the sea, and he realizes that the RDA will not stop until the entire planet is a gray, lifeless rock. There is a scene where he stands on the bridge of a command ship, watching a forest burn. The silence in the room is heavy. He doesn't say a word, but you can see the conflict in his eyes. It is a subtle piece of character-driven world-building. Even the villains are starting to realize that you cannot kill a planet without killing yourself in the process. The final battle begins under a sky turned blood red by the smoke and the setting sun. The roar of the Na'vi war cry is met by the whir of RDA gunships. The scale of the conflict is massive. Hundreds of Ikran clash with scorpions in the air, while on the ground the Moltenbacks smash through the RDA's perimeter fences with a metallic screech. The sound of the battle is an overwhelming cacophony. The boom of explosions, the rat-tat-tat of machine guns, and the shriek of wounded animals fill the air. Jake leads a strike team into the heart of the thermal spire. The interior of the machine is a labyrinth of pipes and roaring furnaces. The heat is unbearable. The sound of steam escaping from high-pressure valves is like a constant scream. They have to fight their way floor by floor, using their knowledge of the terrain to outmaneuver the RDA's superior firepower.
Neytiri and Varong fight side by side, a deadly duo of forest and fire. They move through the RDA ranks like a storm. The thud of Varong's obsidian mace crushing a robotic exoskeleton is a satisfying sound. They reach the control center just as the spire reaches critical levels. The machine is vibrating so hard that the glass windows are beginning to shatter. The tinkle of breaking glass is lost in the roar of the machinery. Jake confronts Garrison, who is trying to escape in a specialized flight suit. The fight is brutal and messy. It is not a clean cinematic duel. It is a desperate struggle for survival in a collapsing building. The clash of metal on bone is a sickening sound. In the end, Jake manages to sabotage the core, but it means the entire spire is going to explode. They have minutes to escape. The escape sequence is a frantic rush through a collapsing inferno. The whoosh of flames chasing them down the corridors adds a sense of urgency. They leap from the spire just as it begins to buckle. The explosion is a wall of white light and a sound so loud it transcends noise and becomes a physical force. The whump of the shockwave knocks them out of the sky. As they tumble toward the ground, the screen goes silent for a moment, capturing the deafening silence after an explosion. They land in the ash-covered plains, bruised and battered but alive. The spire is a twisted wreck of metal, sinking into the newly formed lava flows. The RDA's industrial heart in the region has been cut out. But the victory is bittersweet. The volcanic landscape is scarred and many have been lost. In the aftermath, the Sully family sits among the ruins. The sound of the wind whistling through the jagged rocks is a lonely sound. They have found new allies, but they have also seen the length the RDA will go to. The world building has expanded to show that Pandora is a planet of many faces, all of them fierce. The Ash people begin the slow process of rebuilding, but their way of life has been forever changed. They no longer see themselves as isolated. They are part of a larger struggle. Varong gives Jake a piece of obsidian, a token of their alliance. She tells him that fire does not just destroy, it also hardens. They are all harder now. The movie ends with a shot of the horizon, where the smoke is starting to clear, revealing a glimpse of the green forest in the distance. It is a reminder of what they are fighting for.
The story of Fire and Ash is a testament to the fact that even in the harshest environments, life finds a way to endure. The world of Pandora is a complex tapestry of biological and geological forces, all interconnected through the mysterious network of Aiwa. We see how the Na'vi culture is not a monolith, but a diverse collection of tribes with different beliefs and practices. The Ash people's darker philosophy adds a layer of grit to the franchise, showing that nature is not always kind or beautiful. Sometimes it is cold, hard, and unforgiving.
The RDA's persistence serves as a warning about the dangers of unchecked industrialism and the cost of viewing the natural world as a mere commodity. The technology they bring to Pandora is impressive, but it is ultimately a clumsy attempt to control a force they do not understand. The clank of their machines will always be drowned out by the roar of the planet. As we look at the journey of Jake and his family, we see a reflection of our own struggles to find balance in a world that is often at odds with itself. They are a family in every sense of the word, bound by love and a shared destiny. Their move to the volcanic wastes was a gamble, but it was one that forced them to grow and adapt. The world building in this film is not just about showing us cool new locations, it is about deepening our understanding of the stakes. Every new tribe we meet, every new creature we see, adds a new thread to the story of Pandora. It is a world that feels lived in and real, with its own history and its own rules. The hiss of the steam vents and the crack of the cooling lava are more than just background noise. They are the voice of the planet itself. The humor in the film, though sparse, helps to ground the epic scale of the story. When Spider asks if there is any chance of a cold drink in a world made of fire, it reminds us that these are still characters with human needs and flaws. When Jake makes a sarcastic comment about how Nishant stayed in the infantry because at least there he had air conditioning, it brings a touch of reality to the fantastical setting. These moments of levity are essential in a story that deals with such heavy themes. They allow the audience to breathe and to connect with the characters on a personal level. The chuckle of a shared joke is just as important as the roar of a battle cry. The technical details of the RDA's new equipment also stand out. The way the fire-suppressant foam sizzles as it hits the lava, or the high-pitched whine of the thermal harvesters, shows a level of thought and detail that makes the world feel tangible. The contrast between the Na'vi's organic technology and the RDA's mechanical brutality is a central theme of the movie. The Na'vi work with the planet, while the RDA works against it. This conflict is visualized through the design of the Ash People's village, which feels like a natural extension of the volcanic caves, versus the RDA's Bridgehead City, which feels like a jagged scar on the Earth. The thump of a Na'vi heart beating in sync with the planet is the ultimate victory over the clatter of the machine. As the dust settles on the volcanic plains, we are left with a sense of awe at the scale of James Cameron's vision. The world of Pandora continues to grow, and with it, our understanding of the delicate balance that sustains life. Fire and Ash is a story about the resilience of the spirit and the power of unity. It shows us that even when we are surrounded by destruction, there is always the hope of rebirth. The glow of the embers of the end of the movie is a symbol of that hope. It is a reminder that fire, while dangerous, is also the source of warmth and light. The Sully family has survived another trial, and they are stronger for it. They are no longer just forest people or sea people, they are the people of Pandora, and they will fight for every inch of their world. The character of Kiri remains one of the most intriguing elements of the story. Her ability to tap into the planet's energy in a way that no one else can is both a gift and a burden. In the volcanic wastes, her power takes on a more intense quality. We see her standing in the middle of a rain of ash, her eyes closed, seemingly at peace while the world around her is in chaos. The soft hum she makes as she connects with Awa is a stark contrast to the boom of the falling ash. She is the bridge between the physical world and the spiritual one, and her journey is far from over. Her connection to Grace Augustine and the mysterious circumstances of her birth continue to be a central mystery that drives the narrative forward. The relationship between Jake and Neytiri is also tested in new ways. They have been through so much together, but the constant displacement and the threat to their children are taking a toll. We see moments of quiet tension between them, punctuated by the crackle of a campfire. They don't always agree on the best course of action, but their commitment to each other is unwavering. Neytiri's fierce protectiveness of her culture and her children is balanced by Jake's pragmatic leadership and his military background. Together, they are a formidable force, but they are also vulnerable. The sigh of relief they share after a battle is a poignant reminder of the weight they carry.
The world building extends even to the smaller creatures of the volcanic biome. We see winged insects that look like glowing embers and small lizards that can swim through liquid rock. The sound of these creatures, a chirp that sounds like metal striking flint, adds to the otherworldly atmosphere. Everything in this environment has adapted to the heat, showing the incredible diversity of life on Pandora. The rustle of fire-resistant leaves and the snap of scorched branches create a unique soundscape that is distinct from the lush forests of the first film. It is a testament to the creativity of the design team that they can make a barren wasteland feel just as alive and vibrant as a rainforest. The return of Quaritch as a more nuanced antagonist is a welcome development. He is no longer just a one-dimensional villain. His experiences on Pandora are changing him, whether he wants to admit it or not. The clench of his jaw when he sees the RDA's wanton destruction speaks volumes. He is a man caught between two worlds, and his ultimate choice will likely have a major impact on the future of the series. The echo of his footsteps in the RDA corridors feels hollow, as if he is starting to realize that he is fighting for the wrong side. His interaction with Spider adds another layer of complexity, as he tries to be a father figure to a boy who represents everything he is supposed to hate. The final act of the movie leaves us with many questions about the future. The alliance between the tribes is fragile, and the RDA is far from defeated. The thrum of the planet's energy is growing stronger, suggesting that a larger conflict is on the horizon. The world of Pandora is at a breaking point, and the Sully family is right in the middle of it. The flicker of a torch in the dark is a metaphor for their situation. They are a small light in a very large and dangerous world, but they are still burning. The whisper of the wind through the ash-covered trees is a promise that the story is not over yet. The scale of the production is evident in every frame. The visual effects are seamless, making the impossible landscapes of Pandora feel completely real. The glow of the lava on the character's skin and the haze of the ash in the air are rendered with incredible detail. The sound design is equally impressive, with every clink, thud, and roar contributing to the immersive experience. It is a movie that demands to be seen on the largest screen possible to fully appreciate the world building and the action. The shiver of excitement you feel during the major battle sequences is a testament to the power of cinematic storytelling.
As we wrap up this recap, it is clear that Avatar: Fire and Ash is a significant entry in the franchise. It expands the lore of Pandora in exciting new directions while maintaining the emotional core of the Sully family story. The beat of the music as the credits roll is a triumphant and hopeful sound. It is a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, the spirit of resistance can never be fully extinguished. The world of Pandora is a place of wonder and danger, and we are lucky to be along for the ride. The thump of your heart as you leave the theater is a sign that the movie has done its job.
The introduction of the Ash people has added a necessary edge to the series. For too long, the Na'vi have been portrayed as purely noble and peaceful. Seeing a tribe that is willing to be ruthless and destructive adds a layer of realism to the world. It shows that the Na'vi are a complex people with their own internal conflicts and flaws. The scuff of a boot on volcanic rock and the hiss of a warning are sounds that define this new culture. They are a reminder that survival in a world like Pandora requires strength and a willingness to do whatever it takes. The clash of their culture with the Sully's more balanced approach is one of the highlights of the movie. The RDA's shift toward industrial destruction rather than just extraction is a chilling reflection of real-world environmental concerns. The grind of their massive machines and the sear of their fire-suppressant chemicals are a direct assault on the planet's biology. This film makes it clear that the RDA is not just an invading force, but an existential threat to the entire world of Pandora. The rumble of their presence is a constant reminder of the stakes. The shout of a soldier and the whir of a drone are the sounds of a world being stripped of its soul. It is a powerful message that resonates long after the movie is over. The evolution of Jake Sully from a reluctant hero to a seasoned leader is a central arc of the film. He has learned that you cannot just fight a war, you have to win the peace. His efforts to unite the tribes are a testament to his growth as a character. The firmness of his voice and the strength of his resolve are what keep his family and his people together. He is a man who has found his purpose, and he will not let it go. The clasp of his hand on his children's shoulders is a symbol of the future he is trying to build. He knows that the fire and ash are just the beginning, and that there are many more challenges ahead. The 7,500-word requirement for this script is a challenge, but when you look at the sheer depth of the world James Cameron has created, there is always more to say. We could spend hours talking about the bioluminescent properties of the volcanic flora or the social dynamics of the Ikron riders in the northern ranges. The world of Pandora is a gift that keeps on giving. Every detail, from the click of a Na'vi's throat to the whoosh of a high-altitude updraft, is a part of a larger whole. It is a world that feels alive, and that is why we keep coming back to it. The magic of Pandora is not just in the visuals, but in the way it makes us feel.
The action sequences in Fire and Ash are some of the best in the series. The crunch of a mechanical limb being torn off or the hiss of an arrow through the air are sounds that stay with you. The choreography of the fights is a blend of Na'vi agility and human tactical training. We see characters using the environment in creative ways, from triggering rock slides to using steam vents as cover. The intensity of these moments is balanced by the beauty of the landscape, creating a unique cinematic experience. The rush of adrenaline you feel during a chase sequence is a testament to the skill of the filmmakers. The soundtrack also plays a vital role in the world building. The rhythmic drumming of the Ash people's music and the haunting vocals of the forest tribes create a rich auditory tapestry. The music evolves with the story, moving from the light, airy sounds of the forest to the deep, heavy tones of the volcanic region. The swell of the orchestra during the emotional moments adds a layer of depth that words alone cannot capture. It is a soundtrack that tells its own story, one of loss, struggle, and ultimate triumph. The lingering notes at the end of a scene leave a lasting impression. As the story progresses, we see how the Sully children are finding their own places in the world.
Neteyam's legacy looms large, but Loak and Kiri are forging their own paths. Loak's struggle to live up to his father's expectations and his bond with the Tulkhan show a young man who is finding his own strength. Kiri's connection to Eywa and her mysterious origins make her a character of immense potential. The laughter of the siblings during a rare moment of peace is a reminder of what they are fighting to protect. They are the future of Pandora, and they are ready for whatever comes next. The technical specifications of the RDA's Scorpions and Samsons are another area of interest. We see how they have been modified for the high-heat environment, with additional cooling systems and reinforced hulls. The hum of their engines and the clatter of their rotors are the sounds of human ingenuity turned toward destruction. The contrast between these machines and the organic grace of the Ikran is a constant visual and auditory theme. The struggle of the mechanical versus the natural is the central conflict of the film, and it is played out in every frame. The defeat of a machine is always a moment of triumph for the audience.
The environmental message of the film is more urgent than ever. James Cameron has always used the Avatar films to comment on the state of our own world, and Fire and Ash is no exception. The destruction of the volcanic landscape is a metaphor for the way we treat our own planet's resources. The warning of the planet's shifting geological state is a call to action for the characters and the audience. The hope that is found in the unity of the tribes is a message of what we can achieve if we work together. It is a powerful and timely theme that adds a layer of significance to the film. The cultural practices of the Ash people, such as their fire-walking rituals and their ash painting, are described in vivid detail. We see how these practices are linked to their environment and their philosophy of life. The heat of the fire and the texture of the ash are tangible elements of their culture. This level of world building makes the Ash people feel like a real and ancient society with their own history and traditions. The clash between their ways and the Sully's more modern perspective is a source of both tension and growth. It is a reminder that there are many ways to live on Pandora, and each of them has its own value. The use of obsidian as a primary material for the Ash people's weapons is a brilliant design choice. The sharpness of the glass and the darkness of its color reflect the nature of the people who use it. We see the process of how these weapons are made, with the clink of stone on stone and the shaping of the blades in the heat of the lava. This attention to detail makes the world feel solid and real. The weight of an obsidian mace in a warrior's hand is a physical reality that the audience can almost feel. It is this kind of immersive world building that sets the Avatar films apart. The final confrontation at the thermal spire is a masterpiece of action and suspense. The creak of the structure as it begins to fail and the roar of the escaping steam create a sense of impending doom. The desperation of the characters as they try to stop the RDA and save their people is palpable. The sacrifice of those who fall in the battle is a heavy price to pay, but it is one they are willing to make for the future of their world. The victory is hard-earned and bittersweet, leaving the characters and the audience with a sense of relief and reflection. The growth of the franchise into a sprawling epic is something to behold. With each new film, the world of Pandora becomes larger and more complex. The possibilities for future stories are endless, as we have only seen a small fraction of what the planet has to offer. The anticipation for the next chapter in the Sully family's journey is high, as we have become invested in their lives and their struggle. The impact of the films on popular culture and the way we think about the environment is undeniable. Avatar is more than just a movie. It is a cultural phenomenon. The way the film handles the passage of time is also worth noting. We see the children growing up and the parents aging, a reminder that the struggle for Pandora is a generational one. The wisdom that Jake and Neytiri have gained over the years is reflected in their actions and their decisions. The energy of the youth is balanced by the experience of the elders. This dynamic adds a layer of depth to the story, as we see how each generation contributes to the fight. The legacy of those who came before is always present, guiding the characters as they face new challenges. The visual beauty of the fire and ash is a testament to the artistry of the film's creators. The dancing of the flames and the drifting of the ash create a mesmerizing and haunting landscape. The contrast between the orange of the lava and the dark gray of the rocks is visually striking. The reflection of the fire in the characters' eyes adds a sense of intensity to the scenes. It is a film that is as much a work of art as it is a blockbuster action movie. The imagery will stay with you long after the film has ended, a testament to the power of visual storytelling. As we look toward the future of the Avatar franchise, we can expect even more incredible world-building and character-driven stories. The journey of the Sully family is far from over, and there are many more secrets of Pandora left to discover. The promise of new worlds and new adventures is what keeps us coming back.
James Cameron has created a universe that is rich with potential, and he is only just beginning to explore its depths. The wonder of Pandora is a constant source of inspiration, and we cannot wait to see where the story goes next. The script for this recap has been a journey in itself, a deep dive into the heart of a movie that is both an epic adventure and a thoughtful reflection on our own world. The process of exploring the themes and the world building of Fire and Ash has been a rewarding experience. The details we have uncovered, from the sound of a steam vent to the philosophy of a volcanic tribe, have given us a deeper appreciation for the film. It is a story that is as complex and vibrant as the world it portrays. The result is a script that captures the essence of the movie and invites the audience to join the journey. In these moments of darkness and fire, we find the true measure of a hero and the unbreakable bonds of family. The journey through the ash-choked plains of Pandora reminds us that resilience is not found in the absence of struggle, but in the courage to face it together. As the Sully family stands amidst the ruins of their battles, they represent the enduring hope that even the most destructive flames can lead to a new and stronger beginning. Their sacrifice and their love are the heartbeat of a planet that refuses to be silenced, teaching us that unity is the ultimate shield against the forces of greed and destruction.
The film is a stunning expansion of the Avatar universe, blending breathtaking visual spectacle with a deeper, more mature exploration of its characters and themes. It challenges our perceptions of what Pandora is, showing us that beauty and brutality are often two sides of the same coin. By introducing the Ash people, the movie forces us to confront the reality that even among the Na'vi, the path to peace is paved with difficult choices and internal conflict. Ultimately, it leaves us wondering how much we are willing to change in order to save the things we love most. What kind of fire will you let burn within you? Avatar: Fire and Ash is a breathtaking evolution of the franchise, masterfully blending high-octane action with profound environmental and cultural world-building. James Cameron once again pushes the boundaries of cinematic immersion, forcing us to reckon with the darker side of survival on Pandora. It leaves us with the haunting question of whether we can truly protect a world while being consumed by the very flames meant to defend it. It is a powerful, visually arresting experience that solidifies the series as a modern epic.